Hey everyone, it's Crowan. This next video is just gonna be a brief recap on the last video of all the books and why I was taught those books. My HPS, who I will not name for security purposes, uh, was used these books and taught by her family, who she's a fourth generation witch. By what I mean by that is it was her great grandmother or great great grandmother, grandmother, mother, and her. So just so you guys get all that bloodline stuff into your heads there. Um, the reason that she was taught with these three books was because they were the most simple, basic, easy books to learn from. Okay, they were the books that she was taught by, she taught her coven by, and that's why I was taught by those books. What I want to put in context with some of these books are out there. There are a lot of good books by a lot of good authors and a lot of good writers on the craft. You've got Ravenwolf, Silver Ravenwolf, you've got Constanos, you've got Starhawk, you got all kinds of authors out there who were excellent, who are very, very good writers. But I think a lot of the people don't understand the one thing. What you have to understand about the craft is this. And again, I said this before, and I'm probably keep saying it throughout these videos and so on and so forth. There is no right or wrong way to do anything with the craft. The problem I have is a lot of people. Sorry, I'm just in the camera here. A lot of people tend to stick with one author their entire life for whatever reason, whatever purpose. And there's nothing wrong with that. Not one thing at all. The problem I've come across when I start first in the craft was I kind of had the same organized religion problem that most people have. You're talking to, say, what we would call an elder witch, and when I say elder, I mean 50 and above. Well, you shouldn't do that this way because. Okay, or you should do this differently this way because it's easier. Okay. My problem with that is, with the craft being a non-organized religion, to the aspect of there's no right or wrong way in the craft to do any specific goal or any specific task. I'm not trying to say that there are books out there that are good, bad, or indifferent. It's all a matter of what you, as the reader, want to read. All I'm simply saying is, this is the way I was taught. This is the simple way that I was taught. This is the way that I'm going to teach with these videos that I'm going to be making throughout however many weeks or months or years this takes. I do encourage you to read other authors. I do encourage you to read other books on the craft and other, whatever you find your liking to. That's awesome. That's great. There are some books out there that are more geared toward the male religion of the craft. Like a great book is Wicca for Men. That's strictly geared towards, men's needs for the craft. There's no one for women that's strictly geared towards women. So on and so forth. I'm not trying to say that, and I've read books on both sides. I've read books on the feminine side. I've read books on the male side, and I'm not degrading or saying any book is better or worse than the other. But I do want you to understand that the more you learn, the more you read, the more knowledgeable you're going to be on the subject of the craft. You never know who you might run into, who may or may not, know something or may not have a view. If you read a lot more on everything, or as much as you can read on the craft, you'll be more knowledgeable for future references and conversations. And I know that you guys all probably know this already, but I'm just putting it in your heads because the more you know, the more you understand, the better of a practitioner, the better which you're going to become. Uh, the only other thing I really have to say that's kind of doesn't really need to be said, but I'm going to say it anyway, is when you start a practice of any kind, whether it be witchcraft, whether it be a new job, whether it be, anything of the sort in life, once you realize, learn, and remember all these little quirks, if you want to call them, you're golden. You have everything that you need to do whatever you want in the craft. Once you learn how to cast a circle properly, once you learn how to, properly um, initiate a first, second, third degree high priest, high priestess, you know, ritual completely, get yourself ordained, all that stuff, you're on your way to a better person. Being in the craft is a responsibility. I do want to express on a couple of things that people tend to do that really kind of irk me a little bit. There are those of you out there who see movies like The Craft, Practical Magic, Teen Witch, and think it's all fun and games. That's not the case in The Craft. But I will say, even the movie Ghoulies, for example, and that's way far, far beyond any witch that's learning the craft should even look at. The movie's a great movie, it's great special effects for its time, but there are some things in there that are very, very what we call high magic and should not be toyed with until you grasp the concept of the basics of the craft, and probably way far beyond that. The thing I want to express on the movies and the TV shows based on the craft. Yes, there are some truths to them. Yes, some of the books that you might see or some of the phrases that might be used are actual phrases, are actual books, and so on and forth. But people, please don't try it at home. Don't go and draw a circle on your floor, on your basement floor in chalk. Put the elements north, east, south on them, and go and start screwing around trying to cast and bring shit, because I'm letting you know right now, you're gonna fuck yourself big time. You know, the worst thing that I can tell you, and I'm speaking from experience, I've done it myself, like as a dumbass in the craft. I'm thinking, read a book, I'm going, oh, this is simple, like, I can do this shit. I can summon so and so. That's easy. What's right here in front of me? Here's where the problem is. Okay? And I'm speaking from personal experience. I thought it was all high and mighty, could do anything, and I learned the hard way. I summoned some things I shouldn't have summoned, and I'm thinking, oh fuck, how do I get rid of them? It wasn't in that book. It wasn't there to get rid of. So I was had some fun trying to figure out how to get rid of stuff. When I stopped practicing, we didn't have internet, we didn't have the computer age like we do now. We can Google everything. And I had to basically tuck my tail between my legs, go to my HPS and say, I fucked up. I did something stupid. How do I get rid of it? And it was, what'd you do? You dumbass. What did I tell you not to do? Yeah, I know. So from personal experience, if I say to you in these videos I'm doing in the past, don't do this, don't try this until you go a little further, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm telling you for your own being, your own safety, the safety of your family, your friends, etc. I don't want to see anybody make the same mistakes that I did. And again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't make mistakes in life, because everybody does that, then nobody's perfect. But I do want to express, there are some truths to these videos, these movies, these, TV shows out there, but you need to understand and know what the truth is. You can't just pick something off Charm or the Craft movie or Teen Witch movie or Goose or anything that involves with the craft and say, I'm going to try this. Because when you don't know what is, or if you go and try something and it's a real situation, you could hurt yourself and everybody else around you. So I'm encouraging you, please don't go and believe everything you see on TV or in videos of the craft. I mean, some stuff is very possible to do. I mean, there are a lot of things in the craft that, as I said in the previous video, that you can learn. But don't see a video or a movie or something and just go and try it because you want to try it. I mean, all these little things out there with these different little, playing with demons on with pencils and all that stuff. I don't condone any of that. I do not try it. I have never tried it. I don't plan on trying it. I don't condone you to go out there and play around with the craft. Because I'm telling you right now, and I said, I feel like an idiot saying this, but you're gonna get hurt. You do something wrong, you do something you're not supposed to do, you're gonna get your ass burned. I mean, it's the simplicity of the fact of the matter of the craft. You've got to understand some things are just not meant to be played with. And until you learn these things, it's not wise to go out and just go and play around and see what happens. Bad idea. The other thing I want to touch on just lightly is, and I'm not sure if this is going to be a whole video in itself or it's just going to be, I'm just going to incorporate it in this video and just leave it go, but to this day, I might just incorporate it in this video. I've got the time, so I'm not going to really worry about it right now. But the one big thing I want to bring out into the craft is the craft itself is a very decent, easygoing religion. Unfortunately, there are people out there who don't understand it, don't look at it kindly, and so on. What I want to express to you is, don't let anybody change you. Don't let anybody tell you, you're gonna go to hell, you're gonna burn in hell, you gotta find Jesus, you're gonna get saved. Don't believe all that, because a lot of new practitioners will have that issue where somebody will say to you, oh, you were pentagram. Well, yeah, I'm in the craft. Oh, you're gonna go to hell, you need to get saved, blah 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 blah, da da da. No, do not let anybody discourage you from learning the craft, because the craft is nothing evil at all. There is no evil in the craft whatsoever. It's only what you make it. It's only what you bring into the craft. If you want to take that route and go on that path of gray or dark, by all means go ahead and do it. I can't tell you that you can or can't. So, I can't tell you what path to take if you want to be all white, all black, or gray. I can't tell you what path to take. If you're in the background, that's my kid and wife just got home from an event, so just ignore all the background noise here. So yes, I don't condone anything as far as playing around and saying I want to try this. If you want to try something, do it. But don't let anybody discourage you and say that you're doing something wrong. Don't let them feel that you're degrading yourself or you're going to be in some trouble by some unknown, unseen force that everybody seems to believe in this world that no one knows really even existed or not. So, in saying that, I do want to express everybody, and again, I'm going to put links here eventually on some of these videos. Contact me, ask me questions, get a hold of me, whether it be via, Skype, email, phone call, whatever it might be, please ask. I don't care if it's, you'll come and say, and I'm sure, this is a dumb question, but I want to know this. Nothing is a dumb question. Nothing in the craft is a dumb question, because if you don't know it, you have to ask it. Just on the first video that I touched on about the whole pentagram issue. You know, some people choose to wear a pentagram for a fashion statement. So, I put that little test in there about the whole blessed be thing. Some people, or I should say most people who wear a pentagram actually practice. Again, I just want to elaborate on a little bit, and I'll probably go into a more deeper conversation with this later, but I do want to elaborate on, don't let anybody tell you or make you feel you're doing something wrong, because you're not. The craft is a very, now, strong religion. It's a very good religion. It has very, very basic principles and guidelines to everyday life. Just like any, religion itself, the only difference between organized religion and not organized religion is the fact, again, and I'm going to elaborate on this a lot, is the simple fact of the matter is most religions will tell you what you can and can't do. The craft tells you what you're able to do. And there's no limitations to what you can or can't do. Just for example, if you're born and raised, and I'm not trying to degrade anybody's religion or say anybody's religion is good or bad or indifferent, but if you were born and raised Catholic like I was, you've got to go to church every Saturday, every Sunday. You got to do the whole ritual of, Our Father, maybe a Hail Mary in there, maybe the bread and wine crap. I mean, it's not good, it's not bad, it just wasn't for me. But, I was made and taught that this is the right path. And then I later found out that, going through, what they called at the time catechism courses or PSR courses, and whatever term they use now, I don't even know anymore. So have been out of the Catholic Church for quite some time now. I pop in on occasion for certain events and things, but we aren't going to get into all that. I had a very bad habit of asking my teachers, or what do you want to call them, questions they couldn't answer, and it's kind of like, well, yeah, next question. I'm like, well, you'd answer mine. So, again, but there is no real right or wrong way in the craft. There is no specifics that you have to follow on what you choose to do after you've learned the basics. So, again, I'm probably going to be putting some more videos up here and getting some more stuff a little more in detail, but I do encourage you as a practitioner of the craft. I'm not saying that you have to. I still would like to do a couple of things I haven't done, but go to different churches. Experience their rituals, experience their services, and you're going to be surprised at the similarities that you do see. Most of the religions came from us to begin with. And a lot of people don't know that, and a lot of people are gonna argue that, and that's fine, but this is what I was taught how I believe. So, pretty much in saying, I don't want to bore you too badly, but I'm going to try and keep my videos under, 20 to 30 minutes here, and I'm coming close to the 20-minute mark, but just kind of keep everything in general. Keep an open mind on what you want to learn, where you want to go once you learn the basics of the craft, so you're not sitting there wondering what if later. Once you've gotten the basic guidelines down and you start hearing things, whether it be, herbology, alchemy, potions, telekinesis, levitation, palmistry, I can go on and on. Start leaning more towards your goals, to what you want to do. That way, when you're able to study those particular parts in the craft, we'll say electives, I don't want to sound like you're in school, but your electives of the craft, you'll have a better understanding of what they are, what their purpose is, and so on and so forth. So, again, I'm going to try and get more videos up, and I'm going to try and start doing teaching videos here shortly. I do not know when. Again, questions, comments, please do so, and blessed be.